unlock your world one word at a time, because language isn't just about learning, it's about living. Let's get started. Wonderful listeners, welcome back to part 2 of our series on teaching very young learners on the Languages Pedagogy podcast. In the first part, we explored foundational strategies for creating a language-rich environment, incorporating play, and using routines to build vocabulary. Today, we're diving deeper into interactive techniques to boost comprehension and language use in children under 5. We'll also address common challenges specific to teaching this age group so you can feel equipped, inspired, and ready to engage even the youngest learners. Let's get started.
Audio Jungle.
So let's start with section 1, building comprehension through interactive storytelling and visuals. Storytelling is a powerful tool for children, and incorporating interactive elements and visuals helps with language comprehension. First, using picture books and visual story cards. Picture books are ideal for young learners. Choose books with simple stories, clear images, and minimal text so children can associate visuals with vocabulary. Second, adding props to stories. Introduce props like puppets or objects related to the story. Props help children visualize what's happening and remember vocabulary. For example, when telling a story about animals, use animal figurines to reinforce vocabulary. Third, encouraging story retelling. After reading a story, prompt children to retell in their own words or with actions, even if they only remember a few words. Retelling reinforces comprehension and vocabulary. Fourth, involving children in the story. Make stories interactive by asking questions, letting children guess what happens next, or allowing them to act out parts of the story. This involvement boosts engagement and strengthens memory. What are the takeaways for section 1? Interactive storytelling with visuals, props, and active participation helps young learners understand and remember vocabulary in a fun and memorable way. Section 2. Teaching through music, rhythm, and rhymes. Songs and rhymes are highly effective for young learners because they build language skills through repetition, rhythm, and fun. First, choosing simple repetitive songs. Select songs with repetitive lyrics and a simple melody. Songs with predictable patterns help children learn new vocabulary and practice pronunciation. Second, adding movement to music. Incorporate actions or dance moves that go with the song. Movement helps children associate words with physical actions, making it easier to remember vocabulary. Songs like Head, Shoulder, Knees, and Toes, I don't know if you've heard about that one, are great for body parts vocabulary. Third, using rhymes and chants for pronunciation. Rhymes and chants improve pronunciation and rhythm. Short rhymes that repeat sounds are especially effective for young learners, as they focus on sound patterns, making language fun and accessible. Fourth, encouraging singing in daily routines. Integrate songs into routines, such as cleanup songs or a hello song. Repeating songs during routines makes language learning consistent and reinforces vocabulary naturally. So, in section 2, what can we get from here? Music, rhythm, and rhymes help children learn language through sound and movement, creating a positive, engaging environment for vocabulary retention. Section 3. Supporting language comprehension through active listening activities. Active listening activities can help young children understand and respond to spoken language. First, simple listening games. Play games that encourage listening for instructions, such as Simon Says or Follow the Leader. These games teach children to listen actively and respond, reinforcing language comprehension. Second, pairing instructions with gestures. Use gestures or facial expressions along with verbal instructions. Physical cues help children understand the meaning, especially when they're just starting with the language. Third, using picture matching for listening practice. Provide children with pictures of animals, colors, or objects. Describe one of the images and ask them to point to the correct picture. This actively strengthens comprehension without the need for verbal responses. Fourth, practicing following simple commands. Start with basic commands like stand up, sit down, or clap your hands. These simple instructions help children practice listening comprehension and follow directions. And let's check on the takeaways. Active listening activities, supported by gestures and visual cues, teach young learners to respond to language and build comprehension in a practical, enjoyable way. Section 4. Balancing high energy and calm activities to maintain engagement. Young children have limited attention spans, so balancing active and quiet activities is essential for effective language learning. First, alternating active and calm activities. Start with an energetic activity, like a song or movement game, and follow it with a quieter activity, like a story or coloring. Alternating keeps children engaged without overwhelming them. Second, using movement breaks. Plan short structured movement breaks between learning activities. A quick stretch dance or game helps children release energy and refocus. Third, engaging children in relaxed, focused activities. Including calming activities like drawing or listening to a quiet story. These activities help children develop focus while still exposing them to vocabulary and language structure. 4. Introducing short meditation or breathing exercises. Simple breathing exercises or a moment of quiet can help young learners settle down. This transition activity can make it easier to shift to quieter, focused language learning activities. And here we have the takeaways for Section 4. Balancing high energy and calm activities keeps children engaged and focused, helping them absorb language without feeling overstimulated. Section 5. Strategies for managing attention and behavior. Working with young children involves managing attention and encouraging positive behavior. First, establishing routines and expectations. Set clear, consistent routines so children know what to expect. Simple routines help children transition between activities, building a sense of structure. Second, using positive reinforcement. Praise and small rewards encourage participation and reinforce positive behavior. For example, a sticker for listening or a clap for answering correctly builds confidence. Third, redirecting behavior positively. Instead of correcting a behavior directly, redirect the child's attention to the task at hand. For example, if a child is distracted, gently guide them back to the activity with a question or a prop. Fourth, breaking down tasks into steps. Young children can feel overwhelmed by complex tasks. Break activities into simple steps, giving instructions one at a time. This approach helps children follow along and focus on the current step. And here, the takeaways for Section 5. Managing attention with routines, positive reinforcement, and simple instructions help create a supportive, productive learning environment. Section 6. Adapting teaching techniques to different learning styles. Children have different learning styles, so adapting activities to these styles can improve engagement and comprehension. First, visual learners. Use flashcards, picture books, and props to engage visual learners. These children benefit from seeing concepts represented through images. Second, auditory learners. Songs, chants, and listening games are ideal for auditory learners. They learn best through hearing, so activities with rhythm and repetition are effective. Third, kinesthetic learners. Movement-based activities like dance or hands-on play are perfect for kinesthetic learners who need physical engagement to process information. Fourth, combining styles for a holistic approach. Include a mix of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic elements in each session. This approach accommodates all learning styles and keeps activities diverse and engaging. Section 6 takeaway. Recognizing and adapting to different learning styles helps each child connect with the language in a way that resonates with them personally. Section 7. Overcoming language-specific challenges. Different language present unique challenges, so tailor techniques to the language you are teaching. First, addressing phonetic differences. For languages with difficult sounds, exaggerate lip movement and encourage children to imitate. Use fun activities like sound games to practice these sounds in an engaging way. Second, simplifying grammar for early comprehension. In language with complex grammar, focus on simple phrases and high-frequency words initially. Avoid detailed explanations, as grammar understanding will develop naturally. Third, teaching vocabulary with real-world context. Use familiar contexts like food, family, or toys to introduce vocabulary. Contextual learning helps children relate new words to their daily lives, making language more meaningful. Fourth, incorporating cultural elements. Introduce cultural songs, games, or stories. For example, teaching a traditional children's song gives language context and shows children how it's used in the culture. What are the takeaways here for this section? Language-specific adaptations, like phonetic practice, context-based vocabulary, and cultural integration, make language learning relevant and accessible. Section 8. Engaging parents and caregivers in the learning process. Parental involvement reinforces language learning outside the classroom. First, encouraging simple phrases at home. Suggest basic phrases or songs parents can use with their children daily. Simple greetings or counting words build continuity between class and home. Second, sharing language resources. Provide parents with resources like picture books, flashcards, or recordings to reinforce language at home. These resources help parents support learning even if they are not fluent in the language. Third, creating simple home-based activities. Offer easy activities like matching games or color recognition that parents and children can do together. This approach allows language learning to continue in a relaxed, playful environment. Fourth, offering language learning tips for parents. Share tips on how to model language use at home, like pointing out objects in the target language. This guidance empowers parents to support language development effectively. And what are the takeaways in this section? Involving parents in language learning strengthens skills outside the classroom and creates a consistent language experience for the child. And as we wrap up this two-part series on teaching very young language learners, remember that teaching children under 5 is as much about creating memorable experiences as it is about teaching language itself. From interactive storytelling and music to engaging games and family involvement, each of these techniques provides a pathway for young children to connect with language in ways that feel natural and exciting. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, great people out there. I just want to remind you that new episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to tune in weekly for your dose of thought-provoking conversations. You can find our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also pay a visit to our website, MikeEnglishOnline.com, where you will find a lot of resources, all of them for free, to enjoy your learning path. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and follow us for more. And well, thank you so much for joining me for this in-depth exploration on the Languages Pedagogy podcast. I hope these techniques inspire you to make language learning fun, engaging, and effective for the youngest learners in your life. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and remember, every word is a new world for a young child.